Okay, hi, my name is Susanna Whitehead, and I'm just recording my lesson plan assignment. So, in this first section of the lesson plan, there's a title portion where you can put the name of the lesson. Then you have a section for the date. The author would be the teacher's name or whoever drafted the lesson plan, your school district, the teacher's name, and the campus. Also, you're going to identify the subject area, and it says it right here, identify content area. You're also going to include the grade level of the class, and then you can apply the student population, which would include grade level, the skill and achievement level that they are in, the grouping, the language spoken. So, if it was bilingual, you can put English and Spanish. And then the number of ELLs, so first language proficiency, and exceptionalities. And down below you have components and then details. So in this first component, you have a learning community, and that's going to include details over the urban, suburban, or rural, demographics, school district and campus classifications. So you're going to put either if it's elementary, middle, or high school. The classroom content, if it's self-contained, or if it's a team teaching activity, or is it a block activity. And also, how do you want the classroom arranged? Is it maybe going to be, grouped together or just individually? Also, you're going to note the materials needed. So it says that in this section, you're supposed to list all the materials needed for this lesson. For example, you can put any website that you may need as resources, YouTube, videos, perhaps other electronic resources. You can also provide a link with a little brief synopsis. And you also want a sample of all of the documents created and used in the lesson. And the document should be located at the back of the lesson as appendices. This includes student activity and or any assignment instructions in PowerPoints. Next, you want to point out the safety, and it says if not appropriate to the lesson, you can give maximum points. So it says what are the conditions of being protected from or unlikely to cause danger, risk, or injury to classmates, school, and self. So this section should include safety concerns and precautions specific to lesson or experiment. When appropriate, require students to include safety information in laboratory written work, such as a statement or paragraph indicating the safety equipment used and safety practices followed. Students' compliance with safe techniques and practices may become part of a teacher's evaluation of laboratory work. A record of the evaluation should be included in this lesson plan as legal proof of the additional safety instruction. So I think overall you just want to make sure that all the students are well protected and safe for any type of activity, and you just want to be prepared for that. Next, you have a text or TAKS, and this stands for the Texas Essential Knowledge and Skill, and it's going to give you a specific link for the text and then the technology specifics for the text. Underneath, you're going to have instructional objective or objectives, and this is going to be the lesson's objectives where they must be clearly defined and in line with district and or state educational standards. The goal of setting objectives and goal is also to make sure that you know what you're trying to accomplish within the lesson. This helps you to determine what the students should take away from the lesson and how you will go about ensuring that they are successful in mastering the material at hand. Next, you have the anticipatory set, which stands for active prior knowledge and make connections. So before you dig into the meat of your lesson's instruction, it's important to set the stage for your students by tapping into their prior knowledge and giving the objectives a context. In the anticipatory set section, you outline what you will say and or present to your students before the direct instruction of the lesson begins. This is a great way for you to make sure that you're prepared to introduce the material and can do so in a way that your students will relate easily. Second to last is the input or procedure instruction. So this is going to be a clear explanation of the objective, purpose, strategy. And this is where you're going to introduce essential questions and content of the lesson. Identify the activities and events that will lead to learning. Include all the steps the teacher should follow, including the sequence. Be sure to indicate cooperative learning and or other methods that the teacher should follow. All statements should be directive in form. So this is the section where you explicitly delineate how you will present the lesson's concepts to your students. Your methods of direct instruction should include reading a book, displaying diagrams, showing real-life examples of the subject matter, or using props. It's important to consider the various learning styles within your class and determine what methods of teaching will best resonate. Sometimes creativity can pay off in engaging students and helping them understand the material. And lastly, it's going to be the input or procedure modeling section. And this is connected to the I do you watch. So the instructor will demonstrate and explain skills or activity strategies, concepts communicated in multisensorial ways. So making sure students get it right the first time depends on the knowledge or processes to be shown or demonstrated by an expert or by someone who has mastered what is to be demonstrated or shown. In addition to the instructor, prepared students can certainly model the focus skill, process, or concept for peers. Instructors could also use a video for this portion.